I would love to see some outtakes from this. And I also want to ask if I can, at the end of the shoot, they made us a little blooper reel. Blooper reels are like my favorite thing in the whole world. And the blooper reel is great. I'm hoping we can release it one day because sometimes
I
to get the continuity right.
I had such a good time.
Oh, great. I'm so glad.
It was kind of like the little bit of like fun and comic relief that I kind of needed in my day yesterday. So
Oh,
congratulations.
great. That's great. I'm glad to hear it.
Um, Minnie thinks that she can fix everything in
Mm,
one night when she can get the chance. And n nothing goes as planned. So
no.
I'd like to know, when you were filming,
Mm.
who did you relate to? Which part of Minnie did you relate to more? The fixer in her or Minnie the chaos gremlin?
It's funny when you when you break it down like that. I mean, I probably related more to the Chaos Gremlin. Um, but I do, I mean, I love to play characters that like, I feel like every character I play really, the way that I'm able to do it is to find what is similar between them and myself. And it's kind of about amplifying features that are similar to the character. And I think my favorite thing to do is when I'm amplifying negative qualities that I maybe don't, like that's I love kind of I love a messy character. I love like a character that I like the idea of hopefully winning the audience over, that she begins in a way that's like, I can't stand this girl. She's a nightmare. She's so selfish. And then hopefully by the end, you're on board with her. Even my little brother, when my little brother watched it, him and his girlfriend watched it, and he called me and he was like, "Oh, it's so good, we loved it." But at the start, we were both like, "She sucks."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, but did
So
you like me by the end?" He was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, it's fine." So,
so this kind of leads into the next question. What was it about Minnie's emotional spin that made you go, "Yep, I know this girl.
mm.
Yes, I can embody her."
I mean, I think Minnie is like, um, she's like me if I were 70% less self-aware and like, you know, um, 50% less empathetic, I guess. So I get the impulses that drive her. I also think there's a really specific kind of personality trait to, I mean, she's an anesthesiologist or an anesthetist, as we say in Australia. There's a specific kind of like high level doctors can have a real they're just like built a little different, and they have to be. And it's why they're able to do this kind of amazing thing that I could never possibly do. They're saving people's lives and they're doing really important work. But I think sometimes it takes a single-mindedness
Mhm.
that Minnie in this story has decided to dedicate to. She has this moment at the start of the film that makes her realize like, oh my God, I'm 36 and I don't have a partner and I want kids. And she focuses that single-minded dedication on doing that without any concern as to other people's feelings or whether other people want any partners. She's like, I'm gonna do this. This is what I'm gonna do, you know?
But she also carries a lot of guilt,
Mm,
about her part in the breakup of her
yeah.
engagement. So I'd like to know, how do you kind of play someone who's also very self-aware, but
Mm.
deeply avoidant?
Oh yeah, super avoidant. I mean, I can relate to that, I think. Um, I think what was really fun for me, I mean, one of the things that was really fun for me about this film is that the time loop, the fact that every loop is a progression for me, for Minnie, means that it's this expedited character arc. So you get to have a lot of growth in a really quick period of time. And so I think it's not until quite a few loops in that she actually realizes or sort of gets in touch with her guilt, with her feelings of like actually giving a shit about other people. I think in the beginning that's not there. Um, and it was really fun to just have that, to be able to sort of speed through those emotions, um, is kind of a great acting exercise and was really enjoyable for me.
I loved this completely different take of like a time travel movie. Like this was completely just completely wild, but
Yeah.
it totally worked. Like, and then just seeing it, incorporated in like the Y2K sort of a sense.
Mhm.
If you could show Minnie something from 2025 that
Oh
could
man.
potentially nudge her in the right direction, maybe earlier in the loop process,
Mhm.
what would you tell her, if anything at all?
That's interesting. I wonder how Minnie would be in like the age of social media. That's curious. I know. Well, but maybe she would have, with online dating, maybe she would have found, no. I don't know. I've never done, I've been with my husband. We started dating 10, we've been together for 10 years, and so I never did any of the online dating stuff. And when I look at my friends who are doing it, I'm like, this seems not fun. This seems bad.
Oh, oh.
I feel very lucky that I missed it. But what from today? I don't know. I mean, I think, there's a moment where she or another character suggests that she might want to freeze her eggs. I think now that technology has progressed quite a lot, and is less of a, I'm sure in 1999 that was more of a thing you didn't talk about. And now it's kind of like yeah, I froze my eggs. It's like silly not to go for it. So that might have been helpful for her, but I don't know. I think Minnie, no matter the time period, I think she just would have been a mess until she figured her shit out. But her outfits would have been less good. I mean, I love the aesthetic of 1999. It's kind of my favorite.
My next question is, what about that 1999 like details that you were able to, work with, did
Yeah.
you secretly or not so secretly love the most?
Oh yeah. I mean, in 1999 I was like 11 or 12. So when you're in that tween age, I feel like it's such a formative, like I dress now how I wanted to dress when I was 12 but wasn't allowed to because I was a child. And so I think that was happening in 1999. So for me, the aesthetic of 1999 is kind of like my North Star. Like I just love it. I mean, there's a top that she's wearing in the opening scene. I mean, she's in the same dress the whole way through. And they asked if I wanted to keep one of the dresses, and I was like, honestly, I've worn only this dress every single day for 2 months. Like, I think I'm good. I think I don't need to keep this dress. But there was a top she wore in the opening scene that I wanted so badly, but it was like a rental vintage piece. But yeah, I mean, aesthetically, it's just like perfect. And I also love to make a film where the characters don't have cell phones. I just love living in a world for a moment where cell phones don't exist. It's really, really
Well,
nice.
for a moment, because I was really in the film, and I think a character actually picks up a cell phone, and
It's like a flip kind of, yeah.
it took me a second to like clock, oh yeah, we're in 1999.
Yeah,
That's what phones looked like back then. I was like,
I know.
because I was like, what is this?
And
Because
only
there,
really fancy people had them too.
yeah,
It's so funny.
but yeah, for a second I was like, oh my, like it actually brought me back because I guess nowadays you do catch those one or two people who are like, I don't want a smartphone.
Hmm.
I only want the base technology. And it's probably been decades since I've seen something like that.
Yeah,
But the attention to detail with the production design was just so
yeah.
on point. I would love to ask you a little bit more about the filming because you land in that front door
Hmm.
so many times. Like I didn't even bother counting, but I would like to know how long did it take for you to shoot the sequences of that door front door
Yeah,
scene?
there was a
And were
lot.
were there any loops that didn't actually make it into the film? Like you guys,
Yes.
it's overshot and then
Yeah.
the director picked and choose. Was there one that you were like, oh man, that would have been great, but maybe not has maybe didn't fit into the film?
Yeah. So it took us the way that Nick set it out. Nick, the director, is I mean, he was the perfect director for this. His brain is just wired in a way that like breaks things down into a schedule. So my brain is not wired that way. So before each take, I'd be like, where are we? What's going on? Like, what loop are we on? What's Minnie feeling? And sometimes he'd be like, loop 7. And I'd be like, I don't know what that is. You're going to have to give me some more information. But the door we did the first week of filming, we did like one or two door loops every morning. And I really appreciated that he didn't put it all on one day because that would have been a nightmare. Um, but honestly, for me, it wasn't too difficult because it was different every time, which kept it interesting. Whereas for Sean, who was opening the door, he had to essentially do the same thing every time. And after loop like 12, he was like, I'm starting to feel like these words aren't making any sense and I just like don't even know how to act anymore. Like I don't even know
It's
what's going on.
party time.
So he was like, I can't say this again. There was a loop that I was really upset didn't make it because it was maybe my favorite door moment. But then once Nick explained to me why it didn't, I was like, oh, that's okay. It honestly was a moment where, oh, I don't know there's not much I can say about it without giving it away, but it was a moment where Minnie got a little bit violent and aggressive and essentially tried to force another character to drink the tequila. And they got into like a physical altercation. But it was quite late in the film. It was really fun to film. It was like really, really fun. But it was kind of late in the film. And I think it didn't work because at that point, she's supposed to have grown a little bit more. And it just made her very like, what are you doing? Like it
It
was not
wasn't
a
a
hero's
growth.
moment.
It wasn't
Yeah,
a growth
it was not.
progression for her.
But I really wish they would I would love to see some outtakes from this. And I also want to ask if I can, at the end of the shoot, they made us a little blooper reel. Blooper reels are like my favorite thing in the whole world. And the blooper reel is great. I'm hoping we can release it one day because sometimes
I
to get the continuity right led to some really funny moments.
I would love to see the blooper reel on
Yeah,
this
it was pretty
because
good.
just the continuity, the work, like I
Yeah.
have an understanding of how hard it is to keep the
Mm,
continuity in such a long, like 60 days of filming is a
yeah.
long time to like make sure everything, like I appreciate that. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's great.
jealous,
Because I feel
but
like a lot of people don't understand the work that goes into that. Honestly, the continuity on this movie broke my brain. Like we would be in a loop and I was like, oh, and then I have my bag. And they were like, no, because you put your bag here in this loop. And so you have to, and then your jacket's off. But no, wait, your jacket's like Nick was figuring out in the first week how to make sure that when I was outside later in the film, which was going to be night shoots in winter, that I would still have a jacket on. But he had to figure that out with the loop. It was just like, I couldn't have done it. It was very impressive.
I only have time to ask you one more question.
Okay, sure.
So
Sorry, I ramble.
no, not at all. I really enjoyed this conversation because I
Great.
love
I'm
this
glad.
movie.
Great.
Okay, so she has a bottle of time traveling tequila on New Year's
Yeah,
Eve of
as you do.
1999, as
Mhm.
you do. If you were given the opportunity to drink this cosmic
Oh,
elixir,
wow.
would you take this shot immediately, or would you ask a few follow-up questions first?
I guess it depends because for many, the shot takes her back to the first drink. So I guess it would depend where I took the first drink. I mean, look, if I could take a drink and go back to any time period in my life and then come back and everything would be the same, hell yeah, I would go back to like being a kid. I want to be like 7 years old on Christmas morning again. That sounds
Oh.
amazing. But if going back is gonna change my present, I don't
Hmm.
know. I think I'm sensible enough now at this age to know that that would be a bad idea. I'm happy with how my life is right now.